Welcome to Explain America. I'm your host, Kyle Becker. Well, it's one of the worst rulings that I've seen under the Trump administration, and I think you're going to agree with me. This is absolutely out of line. A rogue radical judge has issued a ruling about Donald Trump that crosses the Rubicon. The Supreme Court has already ruled on this. You are not allowed to issue injunctions in a manner that defies the executive branch's clear authority. But apparently, U.S. District Judge Gia Cobb doesn't care. She's going to continue to issue fiats until she is dragged out of office and her robes are stripped from her and she's no longer allowed to be a judge. But before we get into the story, please like, share, and comment Explain America. Join us. We appreciate your support for common sense journalism. Now, rogue judges, they have been issuing an alarming number of rulings this week that absolutely fly in the face of the U.S. Supreme Court, fly in the face of the president, fly in the face of the Constitution, and it's about time that somebody did something about these petulant children who think that just because they were handed a gavel that they get to be co-presidents of the United States. Sorry, honey, that's not how it works. U.S. District Judge Gia Cobb said that she is weighing a request to temporarily block President Trump's firing of Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook. She has evidence of fraud on her applications. And she admitted this week that she had a document that shows this fraudulent behavior. But it gets worse. Gia Cobb on Saturday unilaterally blocked President Trump's immigration policy. She decided that he is no longer allowed to expeditiously deport criminal illegal aliens because Trump risks deporting foreigners not eligible to be sent home. Well, that's fine for your concern, Gia Cobb, but that's not how it works. As judges, you preside over cases. Somebody brings a case to you, and then you decide on the merits. You don't get to dictate policy. This is absolutely insane, and it has to stop. Nobody elected these people. They're a bunch of rogue, radical activists pretending to be judges, pretending to be lawyers, pretending to be officials across the government. They are not officials because they're not enforcing the law. They're not obeying the commander-in-chief who is elected in this country. And it's about time that action be taken to rein in these people because they are operating under delusions of grandeur. Nobody elected them. Nobody wants their policies. Nobody cares about their opinions. Nobody cares if they're making a difference. Nobody cares if they're saving the world. Nobody cares, literally. So Gia Cobb, you need to be removed from office. This is absolutely unacceptable. You do not get to defy the Supreme Court and the President of the United States and the legislation that Congress has handed down regarding immigration. You don't get to ignore all of it and issue illegal rulings that are supposed nationwide injunctions that are policies. You might remember the Magna Carta, 13th century. The King of England wasn't allowed to do this. So get your act together, DEI hire, and you might want to learn a little history and a little bit about jurisprudence because enough is enough with your nonsense. So please weigh in with your thoughts.